Soaring over these canyons, you can feel the stillness, a peace that only the desert holds. But hidden within these cliffs are secrets, caves and ledges where an ancient people once carved out their lives. Their dwellings still cling to the stone, untouched, watching the centuries pass in silence. Today we follow their faint trails, the steps they left behind, and uncover what remains of a civilization that vanished, leaving only whispers in the rock. And if you look right here, I know it's right into the sun, there's a cave back in there, and we're gonna have to check it out. And I'm just scanning up here and right up in there. See that? I want to show you this real quick. Look at these Moki steps leading right down. They're perfect to walk right down this. See that? Look at that. Going all the way up. Boom, 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 boom. See how they're all worked. It makes it so easy to come down here or to get back up. Man, yeah, super nice. I suspect, yeah. Oh, yeah, look. It's right there. Look at that. Oh, this is awesome. Hey everyone, it's Dave with Rugged Road Explorers, out with you again. Late start today. It is a Thursday, so I was up late last night and then again this morning early, up until just a little bit ago, editing the video that'll come out tomorrow. And yeah, even out here, we still got to get that video out once a week to you guys. So that's what I did. So late start today, but that's okay. I'm going today. I'm going 100 degrees. So I kind of just fixed my azimuth and am going for 1.1 mile, and that'll get me to the edge of a canyon, and then we'll start working our way around it and see if we come up with anything. All right, I am just getting started. Now, I'm not to the canyon I wanted to go to yet. This was actually, I was going to pass on the edge of this canyon, which is the start of another canyon, and then go to another one that's further east. But I decided to come down this way just a little bit, just to take a peek. And if you look right here, I know it's right into the sun. There's a cave back in there, and we're going to have to check it out. So, yeah, let's head over there. Not sure if that's smoke or water stains. So I don't see any dwellings in here. I do see these rocks up like this. And I see holes that have been dug. So it looks like at one time people have been digging here. We've got some old canvas in here too, which indicates to me probably some cowboys use this also. And I have no idea what this is that's hanging here. But that's a wire and a nail in the roof there. But you can see these holes. That's usually a sign of somebody's come through here digging, although I'm sure this was used. I mean, it's tall, look. I can't even touch the ceiling, so it would have been great. But it doesn't look like they did any finished dwellings, and if they did, they're all collapsed by now. Maybe at the front there, but all that rock came down. Just scanning the rocks real quick. This all come off the roof. But this would have been a very good place for them to get out of the weather. Huh. I'm surprised it isn't built up more, because it's right near the Mesa, and Would have been a great spot to get near good water sources. So it would have been a great spot to build. And over on this side, you've got more of this canvas here. Don't know when it's from. It could be from the 1900s. It could be from late 1800s. They had canvas back then too. There's no telling. It's gonna preserve in here. Got this little area. Well, here is something. Look, here's some pottery. I mean, this cove is just too nice not to have used. I mean, it's completely natural, and they would have just had to build a wall along the front. And maybe there was one here, but all this has come down. You can see where all that came down. So I'm just taking a closer look at where this ceiling has come down. And you've got these rocks here, but check this out. This is why you just got to be a little bit diligent. Look at this. That's an old piece of gray pottery that's actually been used in a fire. You can see the where it's smoked on top or on the bottom. I'm not sure exactly how it went. Maybe like that. It's too bad. Oh man, I bet this was nice at one time. It's huge in here. Well, we did find some pottery, so we do know that it was used, which is not surprising. I mean, why wouldn't you use a place like this? And the other interesting thing is that apparently the cowboys used it, or the sheep herders. I'm not sure who was here. I know they've run cattle here lately, but in the 1800s, don't know what kind of livestock they were running. But yeah, very interesting. What I was going to say is that archaeological digs on these things have shown that they usually have to go 8 inches to sometimes 3 feet down to get down to the layers where the people actually lived. Because remember, it's been about 1,000 years. Now, pottery will float to the top, but a lot of the, if they left any decent artifacts, they're going to be buried way under here. So we won't find them because we don't dig. And we're going to continue on. I'm just going to look right down here below us because if there was any pottery up here and it was near the edge, it's going to get washed down, and we'll go down and see if there's anything down there. Just check it out. And then we're going to get back up there and head on out because we got a lot of ground to cover still. I just came up there. Had to take my pack off, throw it up, and then to get myself up because it's too heavy to get up that steep thing. But once I had my pack off, it was pretty easy to pull myself up. Now, we're going to go this way. Well, that didn't take long to get here, which is pretty awesome. Look at that. This canyon's just beautiful. Pretty steep drop off though. And we came from around there and we're headed this way. And we'll see what we can find. Well, I scanned everything in here and didn't see anything. So we're gonna head back, which is back this way. Sure is pretty. You can see down there, the trees are changing and there's even some water down there. Yeah, there it is. You can see it there. There must be a spring down there. So we're just leaving this area here, and I'm just scanning up here and right up in there. See that? So that's where we're headed. All right. So we have a nice overhang here. But boy, even so, you can still see a lot of the rock has fallen. And there it is right there. Boy, it's just built to blend right in. Well, you can see there's no footprints. Nobody's been here. But then again, look where we are. There's nothing around here. All right. Let's go look at this over here first. Look, here's a corn cob right there. So this was probably all enclosed in at one time. That's pretty cool. I gotta get a picture of that. And this was all built up. I'm gonna show you this. So there's an old rusty can there. That's from I don't know, early 1900s. Right down here where you can see the washes, you can see all the pottery shards. You've got some jasper. Here's more where it's all washed up. There's some larger pieces of jasper. And then you've got this odd, oh, that's just another piece of, although it's a little sharpened on the backside, but it doesn't look to be any kind of tool. Let's take a step up here. Let's look at this old cowboy can. So they had just punched, this is long before the days, you can see it's soldered right there. And they just punched a hole in it and drained it out. Old can. Here's the doorway, and you can see where they framed it out with the wood and then mudded up the wood around it. A lot of times I just see this straight rock, but it's interesting that they made it smaller like that. I'm looking around for the large door that would fit there. I don't really see it. I suspect this was all closed off at one time too. Let's take a around here. Where you can see where it tied in. There's mud here, and there's a little bit there. So this came all the way around at one time. And this is why a lot of times when you just see a pile of rocks or a pile of rubble, you know, sometimes you can see a straight line. You're like, oh yeah, there was something here at one time. It was something just like that. And over time, it collapses down and water hits it and washes the mud away. And then all you're left with is just a pile of rocks. But it did look like this at one time. You know, and some of the rocks have washed down here. So you got to really kind of have that in your mind of what was there, and then transfer it to what you see. Look what we have here. Got more pottery. Got flint shards. And one here. This one's pretty nice. Went way back in there. You can sit here. Look out your window or door, whatever this is. I think this will probably be the window. But yeah, they actually were in here and they lived here. And boy, look at they worked the mud with their little fingers. Strong fingers, I bet. These guys were tough. And that would have been all enclosed in. And this was probably deeper too. A lot of this sediment comes in with the wind and fills it in. I don't want to dig down to see how deep it is till we hit solid, but I'm sure it's down 8 inches to a foot or something. Wow, it's pretty neat sitting in here. And boy, can you imagine if there was another window or a door there and you're just in here and looking out, you got the sunset going. Just beautiful. We'll keep looking around the corner here. I just want to kind of look real quick. See if we spot anything else. If there's any matates or manos laying around. And looks that almost got, it kind of looks like a piece of petrified wood there. I'm not sure. Could just be rock. But if I see anything, I'll bring the camera back online. Well, that certainly was a neat find. Boy, we got the sun going down, so we're going to start following this back and start working our way back to the camper before it gets too dark. So, hey, thanks for coming along with me. If I see something else on the way back, well, I'll bring you guys right along with me. Boy, it is just so beautiful. Not a sound. So I've just headed back and I was following this ridge back to the camper and I want to show you this. I just was walking along this edge here and I was going to make my way down because the bottom side of that looked promising, but look what's right here. Man, if you weren't here, I don't think you'd be able to see that. Very interesting, huh? I want to show you this real quick. Look at these Moki steps leading right down. They're perfect to walk right down this. See that? Look at that. Oh man. That is awesome. Talk about making these get down. So you can see them right here. Well, let's back that up a bit. You can see them right there. Going all the way up. Boom, 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 boom. See how they're all worked. It makes it so easy to come down here or to get back up. Man, yeah, super, super nice. I suspect. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look. It's right there. Look at that. Oh, this is awesome. Well, I knew. So right there, you've got the, oh man, this is great. Right there, you've got the, probably a granary. And then you've got the main dwelling right here. underneath here. Wow, look at this. Oh, and then you've got the Moki steps to get right up there to the top. Oh man. All right. Oh, this is yes. Let's get down here. Oh, this turned out to be great. All right. Let's wow. Man, and this is tucked way back in here. I don't know, I just had a feeling. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Wow. All right. Boy, look at all the smoke on the inside there too. All right, so we're gonna take this piece by piece, and then right up there's the granary you can see. Man, this looks like it's 2-story. Plus you've got this whole thing here. All right. Plus we've got this over here. So let's look at this. See what we have here first. I'm wondering if water came down here. Yeah, it did, and flowed right through there. So again, they had a good water source here. Had something either built up here or up in there. Maybe something there. Oh man. Look at this. So it looks like this was all built into the wall at one time, and it's leaning this way right now. Look how this is still holding. Man, that's a testament to how well their mud tied in there, because there's no support right here anymore. That must be all this is washed down here somehow. And so the logs, so this structure ties into this one. So it's a low structure. So, man, I'm wondering if it was either hollowed out underneath or um or it was for animals. That's interesting. And it looks like they walked on top of here to get into those structures there. All right, we're gonna have to. All right, let's see what we have back in here. Extend this out more. There we go. So you've got an opening over there. You've got an opening there. I can't see if there's anything more. But I can, it looks like I can maybe walk around the back side. Got the wood beams. Interesting. So I wonder how far out this room came. Probably all the way out to here, I would imagine. No, no. It looks like it curved back right there. So I wonder what this room was for. I mean, it was tall, big, had a shelf here. Huh. And then here, boy, we get to see a really, really good makeup of the ceiling. So you had it supported by the walls, and then you had heavy beams going across, and you can see them here. Look at that. You had heavy beams there, and then on the side, and then you had another set coming towards me here, and then you had smaller branches on top of that, and then you had mud on top of that, and then you had rocks stacked on top of that. I mean, just look how thick that is. Here's my hand for comparison. That's just absolutely amazing. And then it looks like too that they had this is bark off a tree. And so you had this room here, which accessed way up there. Maybe it was 2-story. You've got that room up there and an entryway there. So let me just stop right here. We can get around here, which is nice. But boy, look at the ceiling. That's not from water staining. That's from smoke. And they lived here a long time. So before I go any further in there, I just want to look in the wash right here. And this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing all kinds of pottery. We have gray pottery right there. We have just a regular loop kind of pottery there. You've got designed pottery here, which is much smoother than the other types. Thought I saw some other stuff in here really quickly. Maybe it goes up further. Yeah, so you have, this is old. See, you can see this is a basket weave. This is Pueblo 2 time period. Here's some gray too. Is this anything? That's just a piece of flinted rock. All right, let's keep going. I kind of want to stick this in here. Man, I wonder how, I'm thinking all this was out at one time and is filled in, because that's all, that looks smoked. Or maybe it's set up on the walls higher and it's just collapsed down. That's probably the case. But look, man. Maybe it was just like a set up as a patio where it was open at the front, and I'm not sure. But I would bet, looking at it, just coming back here, I would bet all this fill that we see from centuries of dust blowing in, you can see it's all desert out here. So you've got centuries of dust blowing in here, and it would just collect back in the back of this. So I would imagine at one time that this was all the way down, and that would be a good 5-6 feet high. If that's the case. That kind of makes sense. Wow. All right, let's keep going. I got like, I keep getting distracted before we go in there. Look at all the pottery here. Just look at it all. And this is, and you see it right here. Now this is interesting. This red pottery, that's pretty rare. And that comes like from the Four Corners area. So they must have had some kind of contact with them in the later Pueblo 3 type time period. Interesting. But this is right below the granary, which is right up there. Hey, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Keith. He's the first person to sign up in the membership portion of the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. Keith, your monthly sponsorship is really going to help out the channel, and it's going to help keep boots on the ground out here. For the rest of you that have bought me a cup of coffee, I sincerely thank you for it. That really does help. It's a small channel, and I love being out here and doing this for you guys, and all that support really does help. So thank you, and thank you guys for supporting me through that link, the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee link. Thanks a lot, and all right, back to the exploration. All right, let's keep going. Man, I hate to rush because you miss things when you rush through them, and but we're losing our daylight, and I'm so far away. I don't know that I'd be able to get back. Now you have another wall on the back side here. Look at this. I'm now convinced that this roof was this height, and it was all this sand has blown in and filled it in underneath. And then as it gets older, you've got collapse on top of that sand. But you're talking 800 to 1,000 years of sand blowing through here, so it's not surprising this is filled in. And on excavations that I've read about, um, it talks about they have to go 8 to 3 feet down sometimes to get down to the base level of where the people lived here. But, interesting. All right, so while I'm sitting here jaw jacking and wasting everybody's time, I'm looking out. I'm actually am scanning the whole place, and I see these old cork cups here. Let me be very, very careful and step over. Check these out. So the reason these are here is they float. Man, you can see now. I want you to look. You can see my footprints right there. Nobody has been here, and no rain gets here. So this is pretty exciting, man. I'm scanning the walls too. Boy, you can see all the smoke. Look at that. It is thick on here too. Look at that. I'm looking to make sure they didn't carve anything in the walls. Look how you have the support sticks coming out. And this is all pulled away from the wall after all these years. Now this is interesting here. If we step back, so you can see that this is all darkened on this side, up here, and then here it's not. So I'm thinking that this was up against here at one time, covering it, or something was here at one time that kept it from getting stained, because you can see the staining all the way there. Man, it's just, oh man, to see this place in its day would have just been fantastic, man. It just really would have. And I'm seeing you see the staining on here too. Now, this brings up a good point. A lot of viewers have brought this up, and I've been thinking about it too. So we're talking about the kilns and how they fired their pottery, and I've been looking for what we consider a modern one where you have it enclosed and you're firing the pots in it, but they didn't do it that way. One of our viewers brought up some research that he did where he said that they would dig a hole and they would make a fire and they would set it gently in there and then cover it with other burn material, and that would heat it up very quickly, and that would cure the clay, and that's how they did it. So when I see all this smoke on the side here and on these low walls, in addition to, yeah, it probably could have been from making their fires to prepare their food, but it also could have been to fire their pottery because, that was critical to their survival, was being able to cook and prepare food. All right, let's see what we got in here. So this is two-story. You can see right here behind me. So we have a lower room. Now this is about, it's about 8 feet across. It's about 4.5, 5 feet, not 5 feet. It's about 4 to 4.5 feet tall and about 8 feet across and then about 5 feet deep. And it looks like this area was either it was open and a lot of smoke got in here or they used it to for cooking in here too, or maybe they just created a fire so that in the wintertime you've got a door there and you've got this door here. This one goes all the way to the floor, by the way. It looks like they stacked it up maybe to change use later, but maybe in the wintertime to stay warm they made a fire in there. Check this out right here. We've got a piece of old thick pottery, probably used. When I see them this thick, that's probably a utensil, for cooking kind of thing, because you'd need that thicker pottery for that. So this is the lower level. You can see in there. Oh look, there's a piece of pottery right there. You can see in. This is the upper level. Look at that. Look how much storage is in there. So again, this is even bigger. This is probably 10 feet wide and about 4 feet deep. And then it would have gone all the way up to the ceiling, which at the front here was, I don't know, 3 feet, maybe a foot and a half at the back. This is one of the neater dwellings that I've seen. Boy, a lot of work went into this. A lot of work. Real quick, want to just give you one last scan. And people have talked about, the safety of the kids, but you can see, boy, this back area that's under here, it's a nice big area that you would have had to use for the family. And then you've got this covered area, which is big, and then this dwelling, which is large enough. I mean, in here, you could fit 2 adults and 3 kids easy. Hold on, let me get my light. Stand by. Somebody in the comments put, "Why don't you guys ever have lights?" Well, here we go. We've got light now. You can really see in there. Let me just scan this. Wow. I'll have to review the video when I get back because, a lot of this I can't see until I get back and see the video. And I'm wondering if this wasn't closed up all the way. You see those rocks stacked there. Looks like they were just pushed out here, and that at one time this was closed up all the way. Like they closed it up and left and didn't come back. Boy, it's too bad on this back wall. I was hoping to see a petroglyph or a pictograph or, you know, handprints, maybe something, but nothing. And you can see where I've been walking in this soft sand, my footprints show very well, but there's nobody else has been here, man. This is, and it's not surprising because we are, man, we are way out here, and it's tucked way back in a cove. Um, so unless you stumbled upon it like I kind of did, uh, there's no finding it. Well, all right, we're gonna go look at the granary, but I just wanted to give you one last glimpse of this because this is a pretty fantastic find. I gotta say, just haven't seen those two-story like that, um, tucked up in a cave like this. This is pretty neat. So let's go check out the granary if I can get up there. And man, hey, thanks you guys for coming along. Love having you with me. If you like this kind of thing, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That really helps and supports the channel. So I appreciate that. All right, let's keep going. Well, we're going to try to get up here and see what's up here. And then we've got to check around the corner, but you can see I'm losing my sunlight. Man, and I'm still, oh, I still got it. It's going to be dark by the time I get home. Oh, let's go. Sorry for the little grunts, guys. I'm trying to keep this. There we go. All right. There we can see in a little bit. Oof. You can see. Now I got to figure out a way to get down. All right, hang on. All right, there we go. Kind of in a better position. Can't really, it's as far as I can get in there. So hopefully it got it when we were there. This so just so you can see the position I'm in. There's the dwelling behind me, and I'm just kind of hanging on with one hand on this, on my toes here. So, yep, I left my 360, um, and this is why I got that, so that I can go hands free and not be balancing on here like this. But hey, it's worth it for you guys. So let's get down so we don't kill ourselves. So this is what I always tell you: your shoes are critical, especially on this sandstone like this that you see. Um, these are soft, vibrant soles, so they give me the grip I need to be able to traverse this kind of terrain without slipping. And that's key out here, because if you have a hard rubber or some of these, oil resistant kind of thing, those shoes will not cut it out here. You will fall. All right, there it is behind me. Man, I'm sad to leave, but you can see, and then we got where's that granary right above us? Yeah, right back there. And then you got the sun setting behind us there. And I'm gonna be walking in the dark, I know, but we gotta check around this corner. We gotta see what's here. We can't just leave. So uh let's go. So you got this big area here, and boy, where you're tucked way back in there, man, you could see. You're not seeing that from above. You've got to get right here. You're not seeing it from the sides. I was right up here, and I didn't see that tucked underneath there like that. If I hadn't seen the Moki steps and followed him down, I would have never seen this. So let's clip around the corner here real quickly. It's a beautiful area, though. Look how you're up. Boy, I can't thank you guys enough for coming along with me tonight. I'm kind of hoping we see something, because I'm going to follow this cliff face, because it's in the same direction as my camper. And I'm going to follow it back, kind of hoping I see something else, which means if I do, I'll be back out here tomorrow. There it is. Goodbye. What a great sight. Man, this turned out to be a great afternoon. All right, here we go. Let's go. You guys, remember I told you when I get in a hurry, we're getting in a hurry and it's getting dark and we're gonna miss things. And I scanned the walls back there, but I was leaving just now. I turned around and looked at this wall, and sure enough, check this out. Look at these. These are for sharpening. They're all in there. You've got a kind of a small indentation there. This caught my eye, and I just stopped for a minute, and I'm just looking. Looks like we have some really old ones down here too. You can see them, and they're really faded in there. I'm actually thinking stuff may show up on camera a little bit better than what I can see in this light. I'm hoping so. So if there's stuff there, oh man, I sure hope I'm not missing anything. We have a great community, and I have some people that are regularly commenting and giving great information on the kind of stuff we see out here. So appreciate everybody that does that. And don't be afraid to leave a comment. I try to answer everything that I can. And if I can't, I'm sure one of our other members of the community will. So, all right, it's really getting dark. We got to get out of here. Well, the sun's set, and we're not that far from the camper, about half a mile or so. And we'll be there shortly. I appreciate you guys coming along today, and hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you on the next Explore. Take care. Boy, just look at that sunset. Beautiful. Another great day to be alive. Just beautiful.